Well, anyway, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is YouTube's Pastor Dow. I just got finished watching my brother's video, J-Snip 4, over there, which is always very informative and very thought-provocative and very factual, actual, and truthful. Brutally honest. And I'm talking about the food stamp situation. And listening to it, I thought to myself again, I said, I'm going to also try to present this in such a way that people can really truly see what's going on. We have a very slow disintegration going on right now in this country. And you have to understand it's the same analogy as the analogy of the proverbial frog in the bucket, if I can use that and be pure. Do you understand? Now, listen to me for a second. The proverbial frog in the bucket is, the analogy goes like this. You put the frog inside of a pan or pot, and you slowly heat it up. And before the frog realizes that it's being cooked, it's too late for him. And that's what's happening right now in this country because, people often wonder, why do I keep talking about debt? And I'm going to go back again to that Bible like I always do. The borrower is a servant to the lender. And we're borrowing so much money in this country that we are a servant to the Federal Reserve banks, the Federal Reserve. And we're slaves, debt slaves. And so the national debt has doubled since Barack Hussein Obama has been in office. And, of course, there was a time he used to slander George W. Bush for the debt. Now he's president. Now he's doing the same thing that Bush did. So it makes no difference if it's Democrat or Republican. And people are asking me, well, why are you always talking about politics? Because politics, whether you like it or not, if you continue to keep on choosing to ignore it. But if you don't pay attention to it, you're going to continue to keep suffering because you have no idea what's transpiring. You have no idea what's taking place. You have no idea how that your future is being gutted right before your very eyes. Because, humans have this uncanny ability to be able to adjust in oppression. Because no matter what we have going on, a man's infirmity, his spirit can sustain that. We can adjust. And it's a sad thing going on because, see, what's happening is that they're slowly but surely eroding everything that there is about us in this country. And during this slow erosion that is taking place here in this country, I hope y'all listening to me, people are adjusting, making cuts over here, deciding not to pay this bill, to pay the bill for food, to pay the bill for electricity, lights, to pay the bill to keep a roof over their head. And they're ignoring everything else that needs to be paid. It's just a shame. Hold on for a second. I'm back. But what I'm saying and what I'm getting to is you've got to open up your eyes. You have to open up your eyes. You've got to start seeing this thing for the way that it really truly is. You've got to. Because if you don't, the ramifications of it is going to be horrific. Literally horrific. And I don't think for 1 minute, I do not think for 1 minute that people are willing. Because, I know the human nature. I know the human spirit. When it gets in and it kicks into the survival mode, it will step on you or over you in order to accomplish what it wants to accomplish, especially when you got them children starving and that belly starts hitting that spine. We need this in-your-face talk because some of us are so mind-numb and so dumb and so chaotically, insanely stupid. And I'm sure that this bizarre behavior is deeply and collectively and sociably embedded in a collective subconscious of men's mind. And If you don't put a defibrillator, if you don't shock yourself and wake up out of this, you know, you deserve exactly what you get. And I think more than anything, everybody, it's the children. But see, I genuinely care for the children. But the children are not going to be preserved as long as the parents and everybody else keep doing all the same things they've done before in the past and believe these lying politicians that get up and grandstand and stage play, put on all this circus and theater up in front of us and keep continually having you to have hope in a false hope. This debt, the more that they increase the debt, the more taxes come out of you, the more cuts is going to come from food stamps, the more cuts is going to come from all across the board. They just got finished talking the other day that people's 401ks is now they're being tapped into because the government can't produce anything, they can only take. So they're going to continually keep doing whatever they can to come up with what they say tools, and you are the fool for the tools that they'll be using. And they're going to do everything that they can to strip and gut this country incrementally. They're doing it very, very slow until one day you're going to wake up and realize we've been had. It's going to be too late then. Way too late then. And all your crying, all your belly aching, all your moaning, your bawling and your squalling is not going to help you when that belly hit that spine, when you have a bunch of refugees in the cities, in the countries, in the towns, in the rural areas. It makes no difference. All over the place. And you got people running around like a bunch of banshees. And I told you, remember Obama told us about this standing army, a civilian force. That's what he said. I heard him. He mentioned a civilian force equal to the same power as the military. Department of Homeland Security. And look at all the firepower that they're amassing. And look at all the ammo they're stocking up. And I'm telling you what, they're not stocking it up for an enemy that's 5,000 miles away in it. No, they're stocking it up for the United States of American people who are their enemy, the government enemy, in their own backyard. You at least need, I don't care if you don't like me or not, hate me. Maybe that'd be a good motivator for you. But more than anything, whether you hate me, like me, despise me, adore me, whatever, totally irrelevant. You had better take the information that I'm getting out and I'm putting out to you. And if you love other people, I don't care if you don't like my delivery or not, you better pass it along, at least get it in front of their minds and conscience so that they will be able to have an opportunity here because, hey, maybe they can wake up while many are still sitting in that dumb stupor that we seem to be chaotically caught up in the hour that we're living in right now. Oh, boy. We need help. And it's not going to come from the government. The time is coming where we're not going to be able to pay the interest on this national debt. From that point, we're going to devalue the dollar, the currency, because that's the only way you can actually balance the thing, the debt. The dollar's going to be useless and worthless. The credit rate is going to be downgraded. We're not going to be the world's superpower anymore. We're not going to be the world's reserve currency and all this other stuff. Meaning you don't have any idea because you have never been outside of the country. You know, one thing about the Apocrypha, it says that a man that has traveled much knows many things. And I promise you, I have been from one end of this globe to the next end of this globe. I have lived in other countries. I have been all over the place. And there's a lot of places I have never been. But I have traveled a whole lot in my little short lifespan. I promise you I have. And I've been many, many different places. But I would tell you this. I would tell you this. America, you're in deep doo-doo. Big time. You better hope that the people that are in front of you, you better hope you got a husband that is worth something. A wife that is worth something. People that can intelligently make informed decisions. And children, you know, oh boy, I tell you. You watch and see the madness that's getting ready to take place when this Xbox, new Xbox One come out and this new PS4, this PlayStation 4 comes out. You watch and see what takes place. You already see how stupidly mind-numbing dumb the people are. Every time there's a new iPhone come out, they go and get an extraordinary amount of debt just to get the latest phone that has nothing but a bunch of gadgets on it that would still function and work just fine. The powers that be are gutting this country. They're going to make America, like I said over 15 years ago, the United States of America will become a third world country. Most of you have no idea what that means. It doesn't mean anything to you. It doesn't shock you because you ain't never been to a third world to see what it's like. So therefore, your normalcy bias, that chaotic ignorance tells you, first of all, it don't tell you anything because you can't even wrap your mind around it. You never experienced it. So therefore, you can't even draw a picture. You can't have a conclusion. You don't know what in the world is going on. And your preachers, them jokesters, boy, I tell you, and everybody else who fancy themselves to be some type of spiritual leader. You look at their lifestyle, look at their walk, look at what they're doing. There ain't nothing. There's not one thing about their life that convinces you that they believe what they say. And here you are going out there sticking hundreds of dollars in their pockets, and your life is not getting any better. You're not preserving yourself, and they're flaunting all these millions of dollars in jets and boats and yachts and talking about how blessed they are. Now, don't get me wrong. If that's where you're getting fed, it's an automatic. You should be giving 10% of everything that you earn, every bit of it, to wherever you're getting fed at spiritually. I believe that 100%. I don't, all this other junk people come up with. But anyway, since you refuse to grow a garden, you refuse to take heed to the things that I'm saying, you better start going out and buying some canned goods every single time you go to the store. And one thing you better stock up on, let me give you something simple, oatmeal. You go out there and buy you some oatmeal. At least that will stick with you. Man, you need some, oh mercy. It's so bad, it's so bad, it's so bad. Matter of fact, it's so bad, I don't even feel like even talking about it no more. I don't even feel like talking about it. Sometimes I set up, you know what I'm doing? A lot of times what I'm doing, I'm actually encouraging myself. I'm actually preaching to myself. I'm encouraging my own heart. And so I'm going to follow my own advice and stay the course. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go right back out here again, and I'm going to buy some more canned goods, even though I grow a garden.